Kent and Michelle of the Frenchitivity family here with you, and we are very excited to share with you about our journey to New Zealand. Originally we were going to go to the North Island. We will be back, but everyone encouraged us to go to the South Island, and that is exactly what we did. So we would like to share with you how we just determined our itinerary. It's a bit confusing to figure out how you might want to traverse the country. So here's our tips and locations that we went in our trip to the South Island.
All right, it's all about renting a car, and that's exactly what we did as we flew into Christchurch, and we were able to spend a couple days there. It is lush with greenery, and they have fountains. They have the Avon River, which is incredibly picturesque, and inside the river they have these long fin eels which can live to over 100 years old. They have the Riverside Market, one of the many great places to visit and walk around. We had a wonderful lunch, and of course we visited the Margaret May Playground, one of the largest playgrounds in the Southern Hemisphere, one of many stops to this playground, by the way. And I met some of the locals. One of the guys we met was Gerard from the Coffee Float, who offered some free hot chocolate to Everly, and that turned into a feature story.
Then from Christchurch we headed north to Kaikōura. Talk about landscape and beauty. As we drove, the landscape changed, more ocean views, cliff views, and eventually through bridges and tunnels built into the mountainside. It was a really beautiful, epic drive, and we were treated to so many things. We actually stayed in the most adorable motel when we were in Kaikōura. Mostly we've been in Airbnbs, but the Anchor Inn definitely did not let us down. It was beautiful. We walked along the peninsula walkway where we learned actually how this peninsula was created by sediment continuing to rise out of the ocean, which created parts of New Zealand, which was fascinating. We also saw some really cute characters there, the New Zealand fur seals, which were very, very docile, quiet, lazy, sleeping, and we absolutely enjoyed spending a little time with them. And one of our highlights was going to Lavendale Farm. We have a full feature on that, but we absolutely enjoyed that garden, and I can just still smell the lavender right now.
That was a terrific experience. Okay, so it was about a 2.5-hour drive from Christchurch to Kaikōura, then from Kaikōura back to Twizel, which is our next stop. Was about a 3-hour drive, and of course we had to make a stop once again at the Margaret May Playground because it proved to be one of Everly's favorite places on this entire trip. And Twizel proved to be a wonderful home base for many things and many adventures, one being the Hooker Valley Track, which is part of the Mount Cook National Park. A wonderful track surrounding Mount Cook. There's 3 suspension bridges. We were able to hike over one of them. While we were there as well, we went to the Tasman Glacier, which is the longest glacier in New Zealand, 23.5 kilometers, which equates to just over 14 miles long. It didn't look like, though, like that from a distance. Then we have is the Blue Lakes are right next door. Very beautiful, now greenish due to the glacial retreat. And then, of course, we went back to our Airbnb in Twizel, had some wonderful sunset views. And a big part of this too, Michelle, is being able to pay the Dark Sky Project a visit, located in Ariake Mackenzie International Dark Sky Reserve. It's the largest in the Southern Hemisphere and one of the top 3 darkest skies in the world. Also, as part of our visit to Twizel, we went to Lake Tekapo, the beautiful Lake Tekapo, and of course there's an amazing footbridge that goes across it. From a view, it's beautiful. It's even better once you walk across it. Stunning views of the lake. Then we made our way down to the shoreline and found rock formation after rock formation. Yes, rock on top of rock, hundreds of these formations across the shoreline, and Everly even had a chance to make one of her own. And as we made our way back, we ran into the Church of the Good Shepherd. Absolutely beautiful, right on the shore, built back in 1935. We couldn't go inside, but plenty of shots from outside, but we did go in and took in the entire experience. Now, keeping to the theme of stars, we did go to the University of Canterbury St. John Observatory right on Lake Tekapo, drove up the hill, walked even a little further, saw several bunkers of satellites up there, and the views were incredible. Everly had a chance to run up and down the mountains and had a chance to overlook the entire valley.
And if you follow along with us at all, you know how much I love looking at the night sky. New Zealand was one of the most beautiful because it was so dark. So that was a highlight for sure. Then we were off to Queenstown. From Twizel, we made the drive to Queenstown, about 2.5 hours. You'll see we kind of zigzagged around, but we promise this is the best itinerary we could discover. We were able to see some unusual things there, some deer and rolling hills and things that we really didn't expect. So we did some research to find out why they're even there. We met up with some of our other travel family friends friends, and we're able to do the Y Creek hike, which was really amazing, hot and beautiful, and such a good family hike, family friendly for sure. Then one of our favorite moments, we took the gondola ride up to Bob's Peak and then raced down the luge, and what an exhilarating, amazing experience. We weren't so sure, a little timid at first. By the end of the day, you couldn't stop us. I think we shut it down. We capped off the day just kind of exploring the shops. It's down by the lakeside. The lake is beautiful, and there's so many restaurants and beautiful dockside bars to explore. We loved it.
Next up was the drive to Te Anau, which is about a 2-hour drive from Queenstown. And this again was a tremendous hub for some great other adventures, one being the Milford Sound. But on the way to the Sound, we found Mirror Lakes, which are absolutely beautiful. And they are called Mirror Lakes for a reason, because they mirror the mountains and it looks like a painting. It was truly amazing. But the drive to Milford Sound was amazing as well. We went through this crazy tunnel through a mountain. Then we got down and Captain Craig was there with Cruise Milford and took us around the sound, which is not a sound at all. We found out it's called a fjord because it's carved by glaciers. Absolutely picturesque, beautiful scenery, things I've never seen in my entire life before. This is one of the places I definitely want to return to. But then the next day, we had another adventure. We had to go to the Glowworm caves. We went over Lake Te Anau in a boat, got to the caves. Keegan, we call him Keegs, he was one of the tour guides there. He was nice enough to talk to us and tell us about all the different caves and adventures there. So what a wonderful stay in Te Anau.
And from Te Anau, we were off to Dunedin. This was a brief stay for us because we wanted to be sure to see this beautiful area. This is oceanside, and so we saw huge waves. It was a rough, stormy day, actually, the day we were there, but could not be missed to stop through Dunedin. Baldwin Street, the steepest residential street in the world.
The world, yeah.
Guinness World Record certified. We can certify. We went up it and down it, and they built steps into the side, so thank you, whomever did that for us, because it is very steep and quite the tourist attraction. So a really fun stop in Dunedin for us as well.
All right, but we didn't stay in Dunedin. We took another hour drive north as we're continuing our way for a very good reason. We'll tell you about that here in a moment. But we stayed in Ōamaru, which is another beachside town, absolutely beautiful. And there they had a penguin colony, a blue penguin colony. It was raining, as Michelle mentioned, when we arrived. So the next day we went by, paid a visit to it, walked the ground, saw some more seals basking in the sun, but no penguins. They were already out to sea fishing, and of course would return late to their families.
From Ōamaru, we were back to Kaikōura. So you may remember we started in Kaikōura. So pro tip in the future, we wanted to go back because we heard about the Dusky Dolphin experience.
Hold on, no. We stopped at the playground again as we went past Christchurch.
Not to be missed. You will notice in our routing, every time we go through Christchurch, we go to the Margaret May Playground. It was epic, and you can see why. But yes, correct. So after we went through Christchurch again, we made our way to Kaikōura once again, which again, we just found such a charming area. So we were thrilled to be back, this time staying a little more remote area, and so we could rise early the next day and go swim with the Dusky Dolphins, a highlight of the trip for all of us, and what an experience. So be sure to check in the future to see when you can book that so that you maybe don't have to go back and forth like we did, but worth it.
Yeah, Michelle was checking the reservations the first time we were in Kaikōura, said they weren't available. That is why we made the trek from down south, the southernmost point of the South Island of New Zealand, all the way up north once again, and it was worth it. It was a bucket lister for me, and I'm sure for our entire family. From then we went back to Christchurch again. I guess we did. Went to the playground again, and of course reminisced on our stay there. But I'll tell you, the entire trip, it is about a rental car. It is about staying at Airbnbs for the most part, going to the small towns, and make sure you take in the culture because the South Island of New Zealand has so much to offer.